Oh, the badge quest. The badge quest is something I've always wanted to do in a Pokemon game. But what is a badge quest? I'm glad you asked. The rules for it are pretty simple. Before every badge, you catch a shiny Pokemon. That's it. No crazy rules, no if a Pokemon faints, it's gone forever. Just catch a shiny Pokemon before every gym badge. Sounds pretty easy, right? But the thing about Scarlet and Violet is there's 18 badges. This means we'll be catching 18 shiny Pokemon. Originally, I was going to do a shiny Nuzlocke for this, but I decided to do the badge quest instead. Because I'm not really a Nuzlocker, I'm not really good at them, I'm not like a competitive Pokemon player, I just like catching the Pokemon. And let's face it, there's already way too much Nuzlocke content on YouTube anyway. So I went with the badge quest instead. Hey everybody, Cream here. Today I'm documenting? Today I'm documenting my 60-hour-long journey to complete Pokemon Scarlet with only shiny Pokemon. In this video, we'll catch 18 shiny Pokemon, one before every gym badge. We'll make some friends along the way, maybe get a mark or two. That's right, we'll be making 18 shiny friends today in this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the super condensed version of my Pokemon Scarlet shiny badge quest. We started out on our journey by obviously picking a starter. Since the ones we get to pick are in fact shiny locked, we need to find a Pokemon we can actually use for the first gym. But for now, I went for the most underappreciated starter in this game, Quaxly. I named him Trash and we set forth on our journey. After a really close battle with our rival Nemona, we entered our first route. Here's where we would originally have started our shiny hunt, but the route is so small and tiny that it was really annoying trying to despawn and spawn all the Pokemon to even find a shiny. So I thought it would be best to try in the much more open second area. Remember, the challenge doesn't start until we get our first shiny Pokemon, so I thought this was okay. We start to make our way through to the lighthouse, but before that we get stopped by a Pokemon's cry. It's Koraidon. We gotta save him by giving him our sandwich. And if you've played the game before, you know the next part takes a long-ass time. It's basically the slowest escort mission ever. You run faster than the Koraidon moves, but you walk way slower. Game design. Anyway, we make our way through the cave, and Arven basically gives us the legendary Pokemon. And we're finally able to explore the open world. I'm gonna be real with you, running around on foot to try and find a shiny was horrible. I kinda wanted a shiny Ralts to start my journey, but after a grueling 5 hours of exploring, I set my hopes higher. I broke out of the map with a well-placed initiator and was freed by the binds this game has given me. And looking back at this, it was a really dumb mistake. I explored so much of the whole map, hoping to just, I don't know, stumble upon a shiny. The problem was not that I had to walk everywhere on foot, but that my Pokemon's level wasn't even that high, so even if I did find a shiny out here, it wasn't a guaranteed catch. After a good 3 hours of exploring, I decided, hey, this would be way easier if I just had Koraidon to ride on. Oh, that's why they called him that. So I went where the game wanted me to the school. Since you can ride Koraidon without getting any gym badges, I decided that this was allowed for the challenge. And if you have a problem with that, you can meet me behind the portable after school. Because it's my challenge, and I can do it however I want. So I did just that. I got the ability to ride Koraidon from the professor, and well. What do we have here? Mass outbreaks apparently start before you even get one badge. And this gave me a sigh of relief. Hunting 18 full odds shinies sounds like a monumental task, and I just do not have time for that. So I'm going to spoil it for you guys. 17 out of the 18 shinies I catch in this video are from outbreaks. And I know that sucks, and I'm a bad content creator or whatever, but I don't care. I just want to let you know this challenge already took me over 60 hours, so if you wanted a 2-hour-long video of me painfully hunting 18 full odds shinies, then you're crazy. Anyway, I pulled out the map to check what outbreaks I was getting and picked the first one I saw. And what a sweet starter Pokemon for us to get. Cloth. I was actually super stoked to get Cloth as my starter. He's blue, so he can easily take the place of Quaxly. And I don't know about you, but I can barely tell the difference here. I caught this bad girl probably an hour and a half into the outbreak, and I named her King Cobalt after the band King Crimson. And there we have it. After 8 whole hours inside this game, we finally have our first shiny to replace our starter. Now, obviously to you, it did not look like 8 hours. But I promise, this challenge already takes a long-ass time, even without the shiny charm. For our first badge, I decided to go to the bug gym. I mean, it just made sense with our rock type starter. Beating Katie was super easy. We humiliated her. And even though we had just caught our Pokemon, we sweeped her team with rock Terra type. First badge done, now back to the shiny grind. I wanted to make sure we had at least some coverage for the grass type gym, so I started looking for an appropriate outbreak. And none of the outbreaks I had really spoke to me except for this one, the Slackoth outbreak. I know that this is a pretty rare shiny to get, so naturally I went with this one. It took a pretty average amount of time, especially since we don't have the shiny charm. We named him Slim Crazy and added him to our team. One level up was enough to evolve him into Vigoroth, so I headed straight to the gym. Now, Brassius is pretty scary. He's got a Pseudo-Wudo that knows Trailblaze. Trailblaze only has 50 base power, but every time he uses it, his speed goes up, so if you don't take care of him pretty quick, the battle can get out of hand. But luckily for us, Vigoroth, who I equipped with the Silk Scarf, can easily take care of Pseudo-Wudo, and boom, second badge obtained. At only 15 hours into this game, I thought this badge quest was going to be easy. I felt pretty confident because we already caught 2 shinies at this point. Little did I know one hunt in particular was going to be the death of me and take over 10 hours. But that's a story for later. Let's grab ourselves another shiny and start doing the Titan quest line. I'm not really getting the badges in any specific order, just based on what we need. For example, if I want a new Koraidon ability, I will do a Titan. And if I want my Pokemon's level to be higher, I'll do a gym. And Team Star just kind of sucks. This way, we'll pretty much complete everything at roughly the same time. The very next outbreak I found that would be super useful for the next Titan Pokemon was a Smoliv outbreak. Luckily for us, the outbreak was right next to Cortando, so we didn't need a picnic or anything. We just entered the town for a split second to despawn all of the Smoliv and then enter the outbreak. If you want an in-depth look on how to shiny hunt outbreaks, then look no further than my video I have on outbreaks. I'll link it in the description below. You can check it out. This one took pretty long. It felt like 2 or 2.5 hours to get. It wasn't that bad. With a couple of experience candies, we were able to evolve it right away and head toward the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth, an imposter. I'm not sure what level it is, but we were definitely over-leveled for this battle. I mean, just one move from our shiny Dolliv was able to defeat it, even when it was powered up thanks to the Herba Mysticas. We get our very first Koraidon ability, the Run function. This one's super useful for our goal because now instead of picnicking to despawn all the Pokemon, we could just run around until one of them is shiny. Speaking of shiny Pokemon, let's catch another one. In our next set of outbreaks, I set my target on Cyclizar. I don't have a shiny Cyclizar in Violet, so I really wanted to get this one. And this outbreak was crazy. It spawned on this sort of cliff thing right next to Levincia, so I thought it'd be nice and easy and we wouldn't have to run around or picnic just like the Smoliv outbreak. But one thing about Cyclizar is they like space. They zoom and zip around really fast and it's just generally hard to know where these guys are going. For example, a lot of them just sort of jump off the cliff and despawn once they hit the water. It's so sad. So many of them did this, it was like a mass Cyclizar sewer slide. Yeah. Also, I think I might have despawned one of the shinies for a split second. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did I miss the shiny? It was only a short time after the shiny fail that we caught the real shiny Cyclizar. Oh my god, he almost jumped off. And this brings us to Mela. This one in theory should be pretty easy, especially since we're not doing a Nuzlocke. And we have cloths, so there was really nothing to worry about. We beat Mela, listen to Team Star's sob story, and move on to our next shiny Pokemon. Thinking of what Pokemon would be useful for the rest of the game, I went with Wooper. His shiny is sort of subtle, but I always wanted a shiny one ever since the Wooper trailer. I love this Pokemon. And this hunt was pretty easy. It took another hour and a half or so, even with the picnic method. But after some perseverance, we found him. Look how cute he is in his little mud bath. We caught him, I named him Mr. Mud, and evolved him right away with experience candies. But wait, I wasn't done here. Turns out that there was this Flamigo outbreak right here, and I really wanted it before the clock reset the outbreaks. And thank God we did it, because the outbreaks reset almost immediately after we caught the Flamigo. We'll do 2 badges now since we just caught 2 more shinies. And I went for another Titan since I wanted more options to hunt shiny Pokemon. Knowing that the Open Sky Titan gives you the ability to swim in the water, I went for the Titan Bombardier. I think we were also a little overleveled for this one too, since it was, you know, pretty easy. But we did it, gave our starving legendary a sandwich, and went for another Team Star base. I like to get these out of the way just because, like, they give you the worst reward out of all the 3 quest lines. The only coverage we really have for dark types is our newly acquired Flamigo, who I named Montoya after Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride. But he's not really high enough level to deal with these Pokemon. Nonetheless, we could easily beat the dark type Team Star guy. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. And we get our badge. For our next shiny, I went with a Pokemon I tried to hunt on my Violet copy, Tadbulb. Its shiny's pretty hard to notice if you don't know what you're looking for. And I guess I hate myself enough to hunt it. This one took so long. Like 3 hours of just like running up and down the river since we can't, you know, have a picnic on the river. And look, you can even see a little tadbulb ice cream here. I kept my eye out for the red tail, and eventually we got it. It just took all the eye strain and energy out of me. I was exhausted after this hunt. Wait, is that it? Oh my god. Oh my god, dude! Finally! I gave him the nickname Big Cheese, and we went to our next gym leader, Kofu. I felt like it was fitting since we just caught an electric-type Pokemon. And the battle was just that, pretty easy, especially with Big Cheese on the team. Another badge obtained means we need to get another shiny. At this point, with all of our Pokemon in the mid-30s to 40s, I decided to hunt in the Glaciado Mountain region, and as luck would have it, we have a Greavard outbreak just waiting for us. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of this shiny. It kind of just looks like a mop that just mopped up someone's pee, but I wasn't going to complain when I finally got him. Welcome to the team, P-Dog. Our next Titan I wanted to beat was the Great Tusk, since you'd get the ability to glide from this one. I only had a couple Pokemon that were even effective against this guy, and the battle was pretty scary. This guy nearly took us all out. Thank God we are not doing a Nuzlocke. I think it's worth noting that I wanted to swap out my party as much as possible. Just include all the friends we caught so far and to make sure we weren't overleveled. After a very close battle, we beat him and got the fly ability. The very next day, I found a Noibat outbreak. And since I never had a shiny Noivern, I decided it was finally time. And it was so worth the wait. This shiny is so cool looking. Oh, hell yeah, there he is. Look at him. Noibat won't evolve until its late 40s, but it's still nice to cross a shiny I've always wanted off my list. We named him Nestor after one of my favorite bassists of all time, and we headed to our next gym leader, Iono. Usually in Nuzlocke, she's sort of a run killer. Her Miss Magius is really hard to deal with. It's got super high special attack and levitate, leaving you like no good, super effective options to beat her. But since we're just a little over leveled for her, we basically swept her team with Mr. Mud. Our next outbreak I found was a Relor outbreak. And this shiny is probably one of my favorites in the whole game. It's just a little bug rolling around a big ball of golden poop. I mean, how could you not love it? Anyway, this outbreak broke me. If you were to guess how long this took, just based off of all the shinies we caught before, you know, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, how long would you guess? It took 10 hours. 10 hours of my life are gone wandering around the desert simply because we're not using sandwiches or the shiny charm. And the worst part was that sometimes a sandstorm will happen and it's really hard to see them. And by the way, if you don't already know, this game lags like hell if there's any weather effects on the screen at all, or you know, just in general. Finally, after a 10-hour hunt, we got the damn thing. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. 10.5 hours, dude. Finally. Stupid bug. I wasn't even happy at this point. I didn't know if this video was going to be even possible at this rate. Like, how many more shinies were going to take 10 hours? We're only halfway through the game, and it's already taken this long. Just how much torture was I willing to put up for this video? Apparently not enough, because I kept grinding through it. There's a reason why my videos haven't been consistent in 2023, and it's because of this damn bug pushing his poop through the desert. But with Relor caught and subsequently evolved, I made my way to the Poison-type Team Star Leader. It seemed fitting with our newly acquired Psychic-type Pokemon. Little did I know, Rabscat kinda sucks, and he can't really pull his weight through the camp. It's fine since we're able to win without Rabscat anyway, but he was just a tremendous disappointment to me. On to the next shiny. A shiny I've always wanted since Black and White is Cryogonal. I just think this guy is so cool and so underappreciated that he needs more love. And his shiny is so cool too. I love the orange eyes sort of complementing the light blue that he's got going on. I just think it's so cool. And this shiny didn't even take that long, only a couple hours. Well worth the time and investment in my opinion. Unlike certain other Pokemon I won't even talk about. Since the outbreak was so close to the Ice-type gym, that's where I headed to next. And this might be one of the only times we went in a little underleveled. It's a good thing Ice-type sucks, or this might have been a wipe. We basically swept with Montoya's double kick. I actually got a chance to use a full power last respects after I intentionally KO'd my other Pokemon. This move is so broken, but it got us the ice badge, so I'm not complaining. Next outbreak we found was a low kicks outbreak. And do all the Gen 9 shinies just suck? What's with this, like, ugly yellow pea color they keep using here? He really didn't take that long either, because he's really easy to spot the difference. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about this challenge. I mean, we only have a handful of shinies to get, and I'm not even burnt out. Shiny obtained, blah blah blah, you know the drill by now. Next gym leader we took on was Larry, the best gym leader Pokemon has ever seen. And it turns out that if you know the code to get into the gym, you can just battle him right away, skipping the gym challenge entirely. I thought this was pretty cool. And Larry was pretty easy, but we do have a super overleveled Flamigo to beat all of his Pokemon. After a quick sweep, Larry was done for. Sorry, Larry. Which brings us to our next outbreak, and I gotta say, I got pretty lucky here with the outbreaks. I found a Frigibax outbreak, and I couldn't wait to catch this guy. I know we have a bunch of dragons already, but getting the pseudo in this game as a shiny was an opportunity I could not miss out on. His shiny is actually pretty hard to see. His little yellow feather things turn pink, and his body's a little bluer than normal. But I don't think I missed any. I think I caught the first one I found. I tried to name him Fugly, because, you know, he's kind of ugly, but apparently that's a bad word, so I went with Frugly. Welcome to the team, Frugly. Now we only have 2 Titans left, and I kind of hate not being able to jump high. It makes traversing mountains very hard. So I tackled the Alaskan Bullworm Titan. Again, since our power is unmatched, we beat the Titan with ease, got our ability, and yep, you guessed it, another badge too. Okay, so the next shiny I went for is a little weird. It's Fido. But it was a shiny I hadn't gotten yet in Violet, and he's just so cute. I just wanted something easier I could hunt without having to look at the Pokemon too much. It really didn't take that long, just a matter of spawning them and despawning all the delicious pups. I named him Pillsbury, and we went on our way. With a Fairy-type Pokemon caught, I went to the Fairy-type Team Starbase. I don't know why I feel the need to make a connection between the Pokemon I catch and the badge we get, but I do. There's something wrong with my brain. At least with this one, I don't feel overleveled. It was kind of the perfect amount of challenge for me. Jenny Ortega of Team Star goes down, and we get our second to last Team Star badge. At this point, I felt like there was something missing from our team, something crucial for completing Pokemon games. A Water-type Pokemon. So I started looking for outbreaks in the water, and I found an outbreak of Slowbro. Slowbro is way easier to hunt than Slowpoke. The purple just like pops on Slowbro, and he's got like a brown little shell. It's cool. It was really nice to just take it easy again, turn my brain off, and start looking for him. And after only about like 45 minutes or so, we caught our purple girl, Mojo. Right after the hunt, we went straight to the Ghost-type gym. I wish there were more double battles in these games. I feel like they keep making Pokemon specifically designed for double battles, and they just never implement it anywhere in the game except for like one gym leader. I mean, doubles is basically the most competitive way people play Pokemon. So why not introduce more people to it by having it a part of your game more, right? Regardless, we beat Rhyme and our team of ghosts, and we got the gym badge. The next shiny we're hunting is Quillfish. And I don't know about you guys, but I love Quillfish. It's one of my favorite Pokemon ever. I just love its little attitude and the colors to complement it. And the shiny for it's pink, so that's definitely a plus. I even caught it in a heal ball to match its colors. Don't get me started on the quick ball drama. I don't care. We named him Evil Kirby. And now I headed toward the Psychic-type gym. The gym challenge here is probably the worst one in the whole game. I don't really understand how it got passed through the final game, but whatever. But it's easy enough and we get to battle the gym leader after. We had Yellow Ranger, our shiny low-kicks on this team, so most of it went by pretty fast. Her Gardevoir is kind of scary, but nothing we can't take care of. Tulip gives us the badge right after. Checking the map the very next day, I saw an outbreak for one of the coolest Pokemon in the series, Pupitar. Well, at least the final evolution is cool. Pupitar is sort of just purple. And while I was hunting him, something weird happened. What the heck? What? Oh, please be female. What the heck? Please? No! Oh, I'll take it, whatever. It counts! It counts. That's right, a random shiny Salazzle in the background. Of course it's male, but it's still a shiny and still counts toward the challenge, even if we're not going to use it. After this, I decided to finish the Pupitar hunt, just because I still really wanted the shiny Tyranitar. And eventually we got him. It just took a bit. But I'm really happy with this guy. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. The last shiny. Finally, dude. Woo! The badge quest is over. Our next and final Titan was the False Dragon Titan. This one went by pretty smooth, actually. With a high-level Arboliva on our team, the Titans couldn't really do much to us. The Titan quest was finally almost over. And since we just got 2 shinies, we went straight to the last Team Star base. This is the highest level badge to get in the game, but we have just enough fighting type coverage to destroy them. Finally, with all 18 badges, 18 shiny Pokemon caught, let's tie up some loose ends in the game. First, I wanted to finish the Titan quest by battling Arven one last time. The fight was definitely harder than what we've done so far, but nothing too complicated, and so naturally we beat Arven. We'll come back to him later for the final quest, but until then, let's wait until nighttime so we can battle Cassiopeia. The fight with the principal was pretty easy. I wasn't really worried about this battle since it's not too hard, and our Pokemon are pretty strong, so we beat him. After he tells us he isn't really Cassiopeia, and the real one is in the schoolyard. What a twist. We headed there, and surprise, it was Penny all along. And her team is brutally easy. All of her Pokemon know Baby Doll Eyes. And that move lowers attack, but if you just go into it with special attackers, you really don't have anything to worry about. We beat Penny pretty easily and laugh in her face, and she cries. But with that battle finished, the Team Star quest is completed, and we finally tackled the Elite Four and Champion. This was probably my favorite part, getting to build my dream team out of 18 shiny Pokemon that we caught throughout our journey. Here is what I went with for the Elite Four and Champion. Disclaimer, I'm not a competitive Pokemon player, so don't judge my team that badly. It's how I want it. Don't ruin this for me. First on the team, we have Frugly, the Baxcalibur, equipped with loaded dice. You can teach Baxcalibur Icicle Spear with a Mirror Herb and a Cloyster. And loaded dice make it so that there's a way higher chance that Icicle Spear will hit 5 times, making this Pokemon a physical sweeper and one of our go-to Pokemon on the team. Next on the team is Tyranitar, with a Life Orb and Sandstream. Sandstream is pretty much only important for one of our other team members, but it's still useful. Tyranitar is Terra-type Ground from when we caught it as a Pupitar, so naturally it taught it Earthquake. It's another bulkier physical sweeper with a focus on coverage this time. Got a bunch of different moves there. Our next member on the team, and probably a controversial one, is Vigoroth, Slim Crazy. I've never used Eviolite Vigoroth before, and now it felt like the perfect chance. Another physical attacker, but it's okay. I don't pretend to be a high-level competitive player by any means. I just like making teams for fun. And in the end, isn't that what Pokemon is about? Winning with your favorites? Next on a team is a Pokemon I could not keep in the box for this whole playthrough. Mr. Mud. I love this guy. He's so sick. A physical attacker with emphasis on special defense. This guy's one of our walls on the team. I gave him Soft Sand just to boost the attack power of Earthquake. Second to last is our other wall, Mojo. And I don't think Slowbro has ever been bad competitively at any point in the series. Slowbro is just that good. Boasting both high special attack and defense, this Pokemon is definitely a powerhouse on the team. I gave him leftovers just to boost his survivability. And last but certainly not least, we have, of course, P-Dog. And P-Dog has one job: bring it back when all hope is lost. Lapras Packs gains more power the more Pokemon on your team have fainted, so if all else fails, P-Dog will surely save us. There's a bonus if we can also somehow have Sandstorm out when we send P-Dog out, because P-Dog has the ability Sand Rush, which boosts speed in a Sandstorm. All of Houndstone's hats are so good, minus the special attack, but we don't really need it anyway. So that's the A-team. A lot of physical attackers in there, but that's fine. Worry about yourself. Let's head right into the Elite Four. Okay, first up is Rika, the ground type specialist. I don't know why I started this off with Mr. Mud, and to be honest, I don't know what I expected since we had to, switch basically right away. Mojo comes in next and basically sweeps the rest of her ground type team, aside from her own Clodsire. But for this one I sent in Frugly, and we get a taste of the power of the loaded dice. Without any dragon dances whatsoever, it KOs Clodsire with just 4 hits. GG's Rika. Next Elite Four member is Poppy, the Steel-type member. She was pretty tough. I don't really have a lot of good steel type coverage on the team, so most of the battle was just outspeeding her and trying to take her out before she could take us out. We barely make it through this one with only Mojo's special attack to save us. Thank God. Next up is Larry, the best Elite Four member of all time. I decided to lead in with Frugly, who Dragon Danced a couple times to boost its attack and speed, and that was the whole battle. I mean, I used Icicle Spear 5 times, and that was pretty much it. Larry was cooked. No one could outspeed us, and we beat all of his Pokemon in one hit. The final member of the Elite Four is, of course, Hassel. And man, I really wish I had the Ice Terra type on Frugly. I wanted to set up a couple Dragon Dances, but I really couldn't since dragons do so much damage. It was a game of speed now. Hassel eventually pulls out his Baxcalibur and it starts sweeping my team. And at this point, I'm getting pretty nervous. If I played this a little bit better, we probably wouldn't have lost any Pokemon in this battle. But honestly, I was just trying to finish the challenge at this point, so I sort of brute forced it. We barely squeaked by, but now it is time to challenge the champion, Gita. Her team is kinda... It's bad. It's garbage. It would actually be super cool if she sent out her King Gambit last, but she ends up using it second against us, which doesn't really go well for her. I swept the rest of her team with the Dragon Dance Frugly, and that was it. We beat the champion, and the challenge was over. We actually have a couple more things to do left in this game, so let's run through them really quick since this video is already pretty long. The Nemona battle after the Elite Four is pretty easy. I was pretty much only scared of her Skeledirge since, you know, Torch Song is so good, but a couple Earthquakes from Frugly did the trick. Next, we got the gang together to head down to Area 0. This is probably my favorite place in the game. I love the music, the atmosphere, the environment, all of it. We learn a lot about the Paradox Pokemon and how they came to be, but we're ultimately ambushed by some at the bottom of Area 0's crater. We finally enter the lab at the bottom of the crater, and to our surprise, the professor is actually, spoilers, dead. And she made a robot of herself to replace her. We try shutting down the time machine to stop the Paradox Pokemon from coming, and AI Seda goes haywire and battles us. Her team is full of stupidly strong past Pokemon. We don't really get the chance to set up any Dragon Dances either. However, Frugly's attack is so high that we really don't need it after all. It sweeps most of the Paradox Pokemon, and we move on to AI Seda's final form. In her final form, she has a Koraidon much like ours, only a little stronger. We can't use any Pokemon here besides our Koraidon, which isn't shiny. So I guess we lost the challenge here. But if you're willing to ignore that, beating her this final time will complete the game. And finally, roll the credits. That was a close one. And that's it. Whew. A 60-hour-long journey compiled into a short video. Thank you for watching. Catching a lot of shiny Pokemon like this for one single video is really fun. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Maybe I'll do it again with another game. Who knows? Probably not. But if you like this sort of video, I'll definitely venture into more shiny hunts like this. That's pretty much all I got left for today. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's all I got. I'll be back with another video soon. I know I have a AMA, I promised, but I was catching shiny Pokemon. Can you blame me? Can you really blame me? You're my Amy. I'm your Jake. Drake. Matter of fact, bake me a birthday cake. Peace out, and later, skaters.